All right. Morning, everyone. So, I am Lawson Cooper. If y'all don't know, which y'all probably should. I am the junior youth ministry, junior assistant, something like that. Anyway, so the theme for 2025 is rising higher, growing deeper. The theme for August is on the wings of love. Today's topic is grounded in love. Christian mystic Richard Rowe offers this wisdom. Mystics have plumbed the depths of both suffering and love and emerged with depths of compassion for the world, and a learned capacity for recognize God within themselves, in others, and in all things. Buddhist nun Pema Chodron offers this awareness. We think that by protecting ourselves from suffering, we are being kind to ourselves. The truth is, we only become more fearful, more hardened, more alienated. We experience ourselves as being separated from the whole, yet when we don't close off and we let our hearts break, we discover our kinship with all beings. Let us affirm together. I am grounded in a love that is beyond conditions. Let me introduce Reverend Dr. Kathleen Johnson.
Testing, there we go. It is such a joy, Lawson, to see your growth as a speaker. We're so grateful for you. Okay, and he's headed off now to help with the youth. Oh, my friends, grounded in love. This whole entire month devoted to that beautiful awareness of love's presence as the grounding, the impulse behind creation, as the very essence of the divine, the source of all that is, the presence of God. So I'd like to start off with a story that I think really will activate our imaginations and clarify a beautiful principle about love. It's it's a Buddhist story, a story of a Buddhist monk who was instructing his students. And he said, I want you to imagine something. Imagine that you're holding a cup of coffee and someone bumps into you and you spill coffee all over the place. And he said, so why did you spill the coffee? And the students, I know, because somebody bumped into me. And he said, no, you spilled coffee because coffee is what was in your cup. If you'd had tea, you would have spilled tea. And so then he went on to say, whatever is inside of you is what you spill out into the world whenever life shakes you. If you carry fear, anger, or jealousy, that's what you spill out. If you carry love, kindness, and compassion, that's what will come out. Powerful. Love those teaching stories. So this story then illustrates this idea of cause and effect, a principle that is not only taught in the science of mind and spirit teachings, it's taught in all of the major world religions in one way or another. All the way I'm thinking back to the Hermetic times, as within, so without. And so whatever is in our minds, in our subconscious mind, in our field at the time, is we could think of it as our belief structure, our conditioned mind, is the cause of what we produce in our experiences. And so there are times when we can be very conscious and choose love, choose compassion, and then it's in the moments when we're really shaken that we get to see what our inner work is with compassion for ourselves. That's the key. is when something comes up and we're reacting in a way that we really wished we hadn't. It's just simply a sign, oh, okay, that's what I'm still to continue to work on. So therefore, our beliefs produce our experiences and conditions that we call effects. So the cause and effects. So another term that's used in our teaching is what is outpicturing in our lives. Because we're saying outpicturing, it comes from our beliefs. That can be very challenging. It's not about blame. It's simply about observation and then noticing what is it that it's reflecting back to me. What is it that I can work on? So beliefs then, our beliefs, that inner cause can determine everything from where we shop, where we travel, what we eat, what we speak to others, what we post on social media, and even our most fleeting thoughts. So again, this is about being compassionate with ourselves and understanding, okay, this is how it works. It's cause and effect. And now I know what to do about it. With compassion, with love. I'm going to keep emphasizing that. We don't want anybody to go on a guilt complex or go into self-blame. It really is just noticing and remembering that we are conditioned as part of our culture, as part of whatever happened as we were growing up. So let's be gentle with ourselves. So then the idea, the awareness that we're all interconnected then is the awareness that our attitudes, our beliefs, the way we show up in the world has an impact on everyone around us. And therefore, we all share in the responsibility of caring and loving for one another, and of doing what we can to do our own inner work. We raise others by raising ourselves. We raise the whole. Cause and effect. So it is really wise and helpful then to pause every once in a while and notice what's going on in our lives and notice what's going on in our minds as a result. And so that's why it's so important to take those classes like with Candace or be part of a circle like the men's circle to be in that place of mutual support to help with this process of growing in love. Cause and effect. Love and law. Love and law. This is something that we talk a lot about in Science of Mind and Spirit. Ernest Holmes says, love points the way and law makes the way possible. Love points the way and law makes the way possible. We live in a spiritual realm of cause and effect. This is just another way of saying cause and effect, but love and law. So our mindset then matters. Mental attitudes that produce toxic emotions like jealousy and hatred and contempt will point the way to thoughts, words, and actions that create harm. And the beauty of it is we have the power in any moment to choose love, to cultivate love. And so in choosing love, and consciously choosing love, then we let love inform our thoughts, words, and actions. And as a result, instead of harm, we are a presence of healing. We are a beneficial presence. Now, I know that all of these things are things we've talked about before, but it's so important just for me to keep going back to these beautiful principles that allow us to live fuller, richer, more joyous lives. So we can cultivate love then in order to expand our hearts in love. And I love that idea of expanding in love. I can just see our hearts radiating and growing in love to the point where they just encompass the entire world. Can you see that with me? And feel what that's like? All-inclusive love. We kind of end our services with that every Sunday. All-inclusive love. Hearts as wide as the world. So we can cultivate it by doing our inner work, as I talked about, and that means particularly things like forgiveness. Forgiveness is a powerful practice, and there are lots of tools that we can share with you, if you don't already know what they are, to help you move through that forgiveness process. Forgiveness, gratitude, keeping a gratitude list every day. One of the kings of a gratitude list is sitting right here is Dwayne. Dwayne, how many days have you done your gratitude list in a row? Do you know?
More than a year.
Yeah, more than a year. Yeah, because I get his gratitude lists every day. Gratitude helps us to continue to grow and expand in love. Forgiveness, gratitude. And we have a beautiful form of prayer that we call spiritual mind treatment. It's an affirmative prayer. It's a prayer that helps to recondition our minds to be in alignment with love, in alignment with higher truth, in alignment with a concept called oneness, being that presence of love and light. And so it's a powerful way of transforming our consciousness and cultivating that presence of love within our hearts and minds. Awareness of suffering. There's a man by the name of Bill Brown who lives in north central Florida. Bill Brown, who became very aware of the suffering of families who were not getting enough food, and he was particularly concerned about children. He felt no child should go to bed hungry. And so he started off 30-some years ago, 30-plus years ago, within his home garden, he'd have extra produce and he would share it with all of his neighbors. And then that grew into a nonprofit organization called the Children's Table. And so think about this. He's been doing this for 30 years. He's doing this during his entire retirement. Think about what that means. 30 years of his retirement has been devoted to this idea of the Children's Table and feeding people. So it's grown to cover now cover 10 counties in north central Florida. And it's become not only set in one particular table, but traveling food banks. So you'd have to imagine the amazing team that he's built to cover 10 counties in Florida. Now, granted, they're smaller. Some of them are smaller than others, but 10 counties. A 30-year devotion to alleviating suffering, to being the presence of love, to be grounded in love. This is a man grounded in love. I saw a short video on Bill Brown greeting people as they were coming up in their cars. And you could tell that he had made friends with these people, asking them how their family's doing and so on. So listen to this. Well, first of all, it's a suggested donation of $10 if people have it. And for that, they get $150 worth of food. Okay? And so as of June 2025, it said that's the half of the year of 2025, Bill and his team, they call him Mr. Bill, have served 1.5 million meals. 1.5 million meals. This is an inspiration that emanated from love within this man, that turned into action, that is alleviating the suffering of huge amounts of people in 10 counties in north central Florida. And this is a quote from Mr. Bill, who's age 96, by the way, and still working. And somebody was speaking about how he works harder than some people who are much younger than him. 96, and he says he's not letting up. He said, "Helping is contagious. I'm too busy to slow down. I'm too busy to slow down. So grounded in love, moving into inspired action. So when we are aware of suffering, there's a tendency to want to pull back and protect ourselves. And that beautiful quote by Pema Chodron, to me, spoke volumes of the importance of allowing ourselves, and this is compassion, to enter into the world of people who are suffering. And she says, allow our hearts to break, allow the tears to flow, and then allow our hearts to expand in love, in compassion, so that we can be of greater service to those around us. And to trust that that love that's within us is a healing presence that will not only heal our hearts, but is a beneficial presence that helps others to heal as well. So we start our day, I love the song we had today. When we start our day with love, with the intention to be the presence of love, that's what we get more of, is love. That's what we get more of. So I have an affirmation for us to try on. Are you ready? It's grounded in love. I now move into inspired action. So I'll do it in pieces. So just repeat after me. Grounded in love. Grounded in love. I move into inspired action. I move into inspired action. Grounded in love. Grounded in love. I move into inspired action. So trust, the idea is that as we cultivate love and as we take the time to meditate, we will hear what is ours to do in the world to make a difference. We will hear that, I guarantee you. And many of you are already I'd say you're all love in action. I get it. This is a very loving, gentle, kind community, and I really appreciate every single one of you. So on your chairs, I'm sure you noticed, there is a handout. This is the 5 mindfulness trainings from Plum Village, which is Thich Nhat Hanh's community. And so you can actually find it online too, but I wanted to make sure you had it in your hands and you could put it into action right away as you get home. Just do one per day, focus on one per day. These particular trainings, when we meditate on them, are meant to transform our hearts and therefore transform our actions so that we are more fully grounded in love and that we're coming from love. So if you take one per day, 5 days a week, and do it for a while, just practice doing it for a while. Notice what happens. I would love to have feedback from all of you on your demonstrations. These particular mindfulness trainings, if you read them, they really are very similar to spiritual mind treatment, and that they are basically affirmative things that we can focus on to make a difference in very specific areas of life. So this goes back to due to this principle of oneness. We are all one. All life is interconnected. Our thoughts, our words, our actions influence everyone around us. Because we understand this and because we know this, it is so important. It's so beneficial. Actually, it's necessary if we truly want to be a beneficial presence to do the inner work, to notice where our growing edge is, and to step in to that new way of being, that new higher level expression of the love that we are. Grounded in love. So let's turn within in prayer. So I'm just honoring and blessing the great and vast reservoir of infinite love that resides within each and every one of us, realizing that is the upwelling of the presence of God that is our essence, our nature, our very being. I'm knowing that each and every one of us are moving through our lives more fully grounded in this love, rooted in this love, instruments, vehicles, expressions of this love. And so I'm so grateful for this yes that so many of us have felt when we showed up for Sunday service today. This yes of being in this beautiful field of unconditional love that is our spiritual community. I'm so grateful for all of those who've said yes to spiritual practices, who've said yes to being a beneficial presence in the world. And so I'm knowing that each and every one of us are blessed beyond imagination. We are truly the pioneers of the new universal human consciousness on this planet, the bright lights, the beaming lights that are making a powerful and profound difference. And for this, I am so grateful. And so I now, with a faithful heart, release this word to the action of universal law in full faith and trust that it is done. And let's accept it together with a powerful yes! And so it is. Thank you, my friends.